fellow council members, I need to bring this up, and I have to tell you, I'm really, not that I'm uncomfortable doing it, it has to be done. Did you see the News Journal again this morning, the front page? We've got to talk about ad authorities, and Josh, I understand what you're saying, I do. More than you know. The local section this morning, yet again, since we're talking ad authorities, we just gotta finish, we have to finish this. The ad authority tries again to pick the leader. I don't know if you've seen the emails that I have received from community members and leaders that are concerned about how that vote went through at the last Southeast Volusia Ad Authority meeting. Seemed to take the chair and the executive director at the time, or the executive director and the chair at the time, by surprise, as well as some of the ad authority board members. The vote wasn't advertised. There was no time for public comment, and we removed Palmer Wilson previously. We brought him back. And Joyce, and I don't know, I'm going to put this out there for the council. Joyce, this was your nomination. I have no problem, and this is with all due respect because this is your appointment, I would extend the reappointment to you. Should we remove him again? Because this is so uncomfortable. We have to finish this community. It's dividing the community more than uniting the community down there. And we need to allow Southeast Volusia, we have a new executive director, to go forward with a clean slate. And I just want you to know, it's your appointment, and I don't know what the policy is. If we can make an exception and extend it back to you, I would certainly agree to that.
The policy was set forth by this
I
council.
know.
It's a rotation.
I understand.
We have to follow the rotation.
So, well, it really is probably worse than what's in the newspaper from the phone calls that I've received. The confidence level of the business community is very low right now in Southeast Volusia with the ad authority. We need to strengthen that, and there's only one way I can think to do that, and I'm going to make a motion to remove Palmer Wilson from the Southeast Volusia ad authority.
I have a motion.
Can I ask a question of our attorney?
Yes.
We'd have to have a second first.
I'll second it for discussion.
Okay, we have a second from Ms. Thornley. You have a question?
Yeah, Mr. Eckert, what if, I know we have a motion right now, but a motion to reconsider the appointment, which would allow us maybe to go back to Mrs. Cusack so that she would not lose her appointment, we would reconsider that appointment? Would that be in order if the current motion was withdrawn?
No one's going to sue us on that.
I think the time for a parliamentary motion to reconsider has passed. It was 2 meetings ago.
Yeah, that was a good one, though. I do have to give you that. I have to give him points for that. Mr. Wagner, you have a
I
comment?
spent too many years in the legislature.
Mr. Wagner.
I applaud you on that. Thank you. I think the problem that's happening is there's still two sides on this one. Some people are still mad for some prior decision making and where money is spent. I don't want to buy into politics. I think the board itself chose a chair. They thought they needed a chair under the circumstances, and as far as the timing is concerned, they rushed it simply because they thought they had to. So I don't think it's grounds for removal, personally.
Okay, I'm up on that. I pushed my button too. Well, let me just make this statement that when this came through, I happened to be in Mr. Eckert's office, and the board was absolutely correct in their action because it states in their bylaws they're supposed to make this appointment or choose a new chairman by the first of the fiscal year. They did this. And it's no different than just what just happened right here. Ms. Denny said she wanted to make a motion. She made a motion. We have a second. Well, that's exactly, it was during their council member their council member comments where he said, you know, according to the bylaws, we're supposed to be choosing this. Do you guys want to do that now? And they said, sure. Somebody nominated him. He didn't nominate himself. Can't. And they all voted for him, and there he was.
Actually, Mr. Chair, that's not what happened.
Well, whoever voted for him.
That's
and they
not
won.
what happened. For the record,
Well, I
it
can
was
tell
a
you what
tie-
I know.
It was a tie vote, 3-3, twice.
3-3 twice.
It was a tied vote. Because the board was tied, unfortunately, our attorney suggested to call the ad authority member that was not there via telephone for a telephone vote. So I am uncomfortable with the entire process, the way it happened,
Okay.
and the procedure and the way it happened, and my motion still stands.
And I have I heard it differently, but I'll accept that too. My point is this, the bylaws need to be changed. We talked about that, Mr. Eckert and I talked with Mr. Deneen. Their rules of operation need to be changed and updated so that it reflects an appropriate time to be reelected or elected and get things handled with that. But anyways, it was the board decision, 4-3, 5-2, 6, whatever it was, and he was elected. 4-3, it was their board. They made the election, just like any other board does. Let's do that.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think that since it was my appointment, I'd like to have the opportunity to have a conversation with Mr. Wilson, just to make sure of exactly what the thinking was in the way that this went down. And then talk to him about his agenda of what he has envisioned for the authority. And I don't mind relinquishing my appointment, but I will not relinquish the appointment unless I feel comfortable that we just went down this road 3 meetings ago. And here we are contemplating doing something again without the person who appointed that person having the opportunity to have a conversation with that person. I just don't think it's fair to me as the appointee or him as the appointment. So with all due respect to all of you, my colleagues, I think that we ought to give it an opportunity to find out exactly what happened. And if I would ask for his resignation if I think that is indicated. And if not, then I will not ask for his resignation. And you can make your motion at that time. But out of respect for me and Mr. Wilson, I would think that you would give us an opportunity to have some dialogue so we have more information available. I'd like to see those minutes, and we proceed and have a conversation before we again rush to take someone out of a position that we unanimously put them in 2 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago. 2 meetings or 3 meetings ago.
Ms. Cusack, out of deference to you, I will stall for 1 meeting. I'm asking you to speak not only to Mr. Wilson, but to staff at the Ad Authority and others involved, and listen to the recording of that meeting. They will gladly give it to you on a thumb drive. And at that time, we'll go from there. Is that acceptable to you?
Thank you, Ms. Denton. That sounds very fair to me, and I will accept that.
Thank you.
Okay, so then the motion has been withdrawn. Ms. Northey, you
Thank
further
you.
comment?